Welcome. We are playing Trophy. Today we are playing the incursion, the Decadent Ascent by Luis Paulo Ferraz. There's a lost estate rumored to hold great riches. It was once a place where the finest people in all the land would gather to hold great feasts, balls, festivities of great opulence, and astonishing displays of wealth. But that was many years ago. The eccentric noble Duquisse isolated themselves from the world, and now their wealth is just waiting for someone to come, someone brave enough, someone greedy enough, foolhardy enough to brave the walls of the Duquisse mansion and make out with the treasure. You are part of a group that is finally, after much toil and much preparation, managed to both find and find this mansion, and managed to find other people who are willing to go there. You're gathered now outside the woods that hide this massive riches. So tell me now how you look. Give us a picture of you, your motley company, how you give us a description that shows us both sort of how you see yourself in relation to the group, and something about your personality. Alright, let's start with you, Alexander Templeton.
So we see a dark wagon pulled by two majestic steeds. The steeds are detached from the wagon, and they're on the side eating some food. And on the side of the wagon is a man, and he's sitting inspecting a piece of parchment, a piece of paper. He looks quite dapper. He's got a red double-breasted vest with a golden chain across the side. He's got a rapier that's hanging from his belt, but he's taken off his belt, so it's lying right next to him as he's sitting. And he's got dark, almost black hair that's it's medium short, but it's slicked back, so it's looking very, very distinctive, very sly. And he's sitting and he's reading this note. And he's in that moment we hear him talking to his assistant, to his person who's been driving this wagon. So this is it. It's finally happening. That's fantastic. I can see it now. Me, Alexander Templeton. I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to make good on this deed for that mansion. I'm going to prove it to my father. I'm going to tell him. I'm going to show him. We're going to clear out that house. It's going to be fantastic. I'm going to prove it to him that I can rent it out. I can make it look as great as it deserves. I'm going to hang the Templeton name on the front of the house, and he's going to be proud of me. I hope.
So, I'm sure you will. Never disappointed us, or never disappointed me so far.
What are you talking back to me for? Sit down.
Sorry, sir.
Sit down, I told you.
Sorry.
When I talk, I expect you to say yes, sir, and that is it. That is it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good.
I was just so moved by the vision of your name.
I'm not hearing yes, sir.
Yes, sir. No, sir. I mean, sorry, sir. I mean, yes, sir.
Shut up.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna ride in there, and we're gonna do this.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Did you want me to shut up or say yes, sir?
Just say yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now shut up.
Yes, sir. And, let's move to, Petur.
Yeah, I think Petter is kind of like a mad, priestly, religious person. He's educated as a medicus, so he knows his way around helping people become healthy. I think it involves kind of superstition. So he's also well versed in omens. So he is kind of like not reading entrails, but you know, his profession is about reading the future of people, and of course figuring out how to attain wealth. So which steps do you have to go to find wealth? And for him personally, I think wealth can be achieved by following some older god or some forgotten god. So his drive is to commission a glorious statue of your deity. So of course it's about commissioning a statue to this old god. And he's heard some secrets that are found in Duquisse mansion. So he wants to go there and find this. He has read about it in his destiny. Appearance-wise, I think he's wearing a very simple robe, like a gray, maybe tattered robe. He has some minor function at a religious society nearby, as a healer maybe. He has a religious symbol around his neck. And kind of half crazy looking. Maybe the one eye is slightly bigger than the other. Yeah, I think that's it.
Nice. So, Jill?
I'm pretty unspectacular looking. I could be just a middle-class young woman with the skin a bit dark and a big long braid of black hair and quite a nice round face with a friendly look in it.
Face which belies some darker secrets, I'm sure. Hagir.
Yes. Not too far away, you can see a man, middle-aged man, I would say, with a big dark mantle. In his hand, a great magician's staff, for he is a sorcerer from the temple of Tanaloth. And so he was many years ago, until they came to his city, far away in this wonderful city, this temple of Tanaloth, where he had chosen to teach everybody his secrets, his magic of arcane magic, lights, and physical power gathered to hold people to one place with just some words. But now that magic was deemed so much as a blasphemy against the gods of the people there. Oh, how they could not see him, the wonders he could create, the things he could give them, but no. The temple of Tanaloth was was to be destroyed by the people there. And the big cross, the cross that contained the core and center of the magic, to be removed. Hagir himself escaped. They did not find him. They found his students though. Not one survived. Long he ran away until he found himself in a safe place, a city maybe 50 miles away. No work for him. He had no other no other powers than his magic. Very much weakened now because of the cross, no longer in his possession. Spent his time drinking, staying at the local tavern, raving about his great services to the city that betrayed him. But alas, less and less magic was conducted and more mead was consumed. His once wonderful and magnificent mantle was now dirtied with rests of mead and other the things we shall not name. And all his jewelry, for what he once had, was now sold off for more mead, and it is just a shadow of his former self we now see stand before the building, the estate, which you heard from some travellers that might actually contain the cross itself. That brought back light into Hagir's eyes. He stood up and ran as fast as he could, before he, of course, started walking like a normal person, but towards the goal, the estate, which could contain the key to restoring his former temple, his magic powers, and everything that was good in life before they came. And indeed, once that magic is once established, the people of the city who betrayed him will know the wrath and the true power of the Temple of Tanna.
And I'm sure they will. If you survive, that is. This group of hopefuls, treasure hunters, priests, nobles, it's not likely that you would have chosen to be with these others, any of you, had it not been for this quest. Nevertheless, here you are, and you take your first steps into the forest. There's a path. It's overgrown. It's out of use for many years, it seems. Nevertheless, it's clear. Once it must have been a broad path fit for carriages of great stature, but now there are fallen trees, brambles. It's easier to pass on foot, but Alexander, I'm afraid it's I'm sorry, sir. It's stuck.
Jeffers, why have we stopped?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. It seems like it's impossible for the wheels of this carriage to.
Don't tell me you've destroyed the wagon. I'm gonna put this on you if you even so much as scratch the wheels. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. I'll try to pull it myself, sir.
Yes, do that. That's the least you can do.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir.
Put your back into it.
It's really heavy, sir. I think maybe I can do it, sir. I'm imagining the name of my great sir, waving in the wind, the banner of Alexander Templeton, waving from the palace. I'm giving it my all, sir. I'm really. Something's wrong, sir.
What is it? What is it, Jeffers?
I think I broke my back, sir. I can't seem to feel my legs, sir.
I told you to put your back into it, not literally.
I'm sorry, sir. I think I'm I think I'm dying, sir.
Couldn't
on.
even do this, could you?
Hold on. I can help you. Servant of Alexander.
Yes, sir, that's me.
I'm very skilled in wounds, and you have a wound.
Yes, I think I do.
So
I'll try to help you.
Very well.
Thank you.
You may look after him. I'll be in my cart waiting for you guys to be done. Then he shuts the door violently.
Before I begin, whatever are you carrying for your master?
You see, sir, this carriage, this wagon, it contains my master's bedroom. And all his wardrobe. He's got a magnificent wardrobe.
But we've spent maybe 2 days extra carrying this bedroom?
Yes, sir. It's important for master.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Let me see your back. And I will try to help this poor fellow somehow.
Yes. Let's give that a roll, shall we? You can see that he's apparently quite hurt. You are skilled in this, yes? So that means you have 1 white die. Does anyone have a devil's bargain? Or do you not want any? If you don't want a devil's bargain, you can just say so
before I say no,
immediately.
if anyone has any suggestions.
I can come with 1 devil card.
Okay.
Yeah, you heal him, but the problem is that he's healed in the way that he's basically his back is
Like Quasimodo?
Yeah.
You can walk again, but you have a very hard time doing anything.
Okay, yes. I will accept that.
Alright, so it's 2 dice.
So it's a dangerous surgery.
Quite so.
Potential consequences.
There are always consequences.
Okay.
But you roll very well, it seems.
Okay, yeah. 6.
6. So you can just describe to us how you managed to heal this poor fellow.
Just put him down, and I do like some you call it, like massages with my elbow on his back, and I find the right spot, and I just push really hard until something clicks into place.
I can walk again!
Yes.
Sir! I can walk!
It is the blessing of the Dark Lord.
And you
The what?
hear banging on the side of the wagon, and then Alexander yelling, "What's taking you guys so long?"
Sir, I'm sorry, sir. I can walk again.
I don't care if you can walk. Get me to the mansion.
Sir, I think we have to leave the carriage. I can carry on my back. Look, it's all flat for you now, sir. It's perfect. It's made for you. It's like a great and glorious. I'm like a glorious steed for you, sir.
Do you think I'm gonna just sit on your hands, on your shoulders as you walk forwards? No, here. And then it starts moving like this big chair thing out at the wagon. Here, take this. I will sit on this chair. You will carry me.
That's brilliant, sir! Brilliant!
Weren't there horses in front of the carriage?
Yes.
No, the horses are dead.
Oh!
Oh, and you.
Uh,
What's your name? You look like someone who's able to carry my wardrobe, priest.
I will carry nothing unless it's for the greater good.
It's for the greater good. I need to look good. That's for the greater good.
And do you serve the old one?
I serve no man.
Then I'm afraid I shall decline.
Listen, if we get in there and clear out the house, there's going to be lots of riches in there. I'll make you a very rich man. Just carry my bloody suit.
I can carry a small accessory. That's all.
Very well. And he hands you like his walking cane and a top hat. Carry this. This is necessary for the mission.
Okay, thank you. I will carry it. And then I put the top hat on myself.
It's a fairly short journey up this overgrown path, made unnecessarily long by the frivolities of Alexander Templeton. So it's nearly dark when you arrive outside the gates of the estate. It is clear that this estate has a vast outside perimeter, great fence of looks like golden metal bars. They stretch as far as the eye can see to either side, and beyond the road continues. You stand there in front of the gate, which is locked. The bars look smooth and difficult to climb. It's then that you see them. 3 beautiful young men in brightly colored guard uniforms. They have perfectly manicured mustaches, beards, pointy little beards. They curiously blank expressions. They come at you from the sides. And one of them has even managed to circle around behind you. They wield spears. And they speak in a strange, unsettling, monotonous voice. You are trespassing. You are trespassing, and you will die. What do you do?
Alexander, he jumps up from his seat that is being carried around in, and he just looks straight at the closest guard. And he pulls out his deed and he says, I own this place. I don't know what you're doing here, but you're trespassing on my property. I will have my friends here throw you out if you don't leave this instant.
You are trespassing. You are trespassing. You will die. And the spear is thrust right into your face. You jerk backwards. It's probably an unpleasant sensation to have this this weapon, this sharp object, so close to your eyes. You can react to this. What do you do?
I think he's kind of taken aback and he just tries to throw himself out of the way of this attack.
Yep. Right. Let's have you roll. You're risking your body here. Do you have a skill?
No. I do not.
Devil's bargain, anyone?
Not a frontline kind of guy.
I have a devil's bargain. Manages to avoid the worst damage, but he puts a lot of his wonderful gear off. He falls off the chair and lands face down right in the mud. It's very, all his clothes look very dirty, and he breaks his slip on top.
So you will lose your fine appearance. Your hair, your dignity, probably.
He's gonna hate that.
You accept that?
Yes. He's
All
not
right.
gonna be happy about that.
So you have a white and a black die.
Right.
Give us a roll. So 4 and a 1.
Yeah.
So you you manage to jerk aside, and you slip in the mud, and you fall in such a way that you avoid the attack, but you land on top of your cane, which breaks, and your face is covered with mud, and you can see just a small lock of your beautiful hair falling down, landing in the mud beside you. It's been cut clean off. You can also see someone standing right where you stood, impaled on the spear, and staring down at you with his big eyes, trying to utter his last words. Master, love you, master.
And Alexander he doesn't even sound like he's heard him. He's just looking at the blood coming from his forehead, and he's looking at his hands, just dazed. And then he says, I'm dying. Jill, Hagir, do something. Help me.
And Petter hands you his top hat that he carried for you.
I don't need a bloody top hat. I need your help. And he just pushes the top hat away.
The two other guards, they charge. One from behind and one from the other side. They seem determined to kill you, or at least chase you away from this place.
Maybe Hagir can do some magic.
Yes, that's might be a good idea. Good idea. Also, Alexander. The black die was your highest die, and it's a 4, which means that your
Nice.
ruin increases, and you get a condition, which I will paste into your character sheet, and you should roleplay that condition as you see fit. Although lots of these conditions are sort of already already true of Alexander, I think. So this one.
What's your plan, Hagir?
Alright, yes.
Yeah.
What do you do, Hagir?
Hagir, of course, he sees what's going to happen, and this is a wonderful opportunity to present some of this wonderful magic. He has to save a lot of people, like he always. So he conjures a binding spell to keep it in.
So, you wish to bind them?
I wish to bind them.
So you will include your dark die since you're using a ritual.
It's
And your skills, so you get white dice, white die. Does anyone have a devil's bargain?
Your spell backfires and it burns you.
binds me as well.
That's also possible.
Yeah, burns. Yeah.
Yeah, do you want that?
Yep, that's all right. It's been a long time since I've actually did magic.
Alright, so this 3 dice. Roll away.
Yep. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Well, This a
Success at
good
least.
result and a bad result. Only one. Describe for us how this spell looks when you bind the 3 guards.
Hagir raises his staff, puts it up in front of him, a very majestic pose, and he gathers the strength within himself, the magic he feels with little he really has left, utters the word Ramananir Hollaninandia. But at the very end, he coughs. So the spell works, but finishes a little bit, or not entirely as he has hoped for. So he big roots come up from the mud, while being kind of emblazed or emblazed with this white arcane magic, and it binds all the 3 and keeps them to the ground.
And as you your spell takes effect, they are immobilized. You can feel a terrible pain in your palms. You look down, you see they're blistered, places charred. The pain is almost intolerable. It's a wonder you don't scream, but it's such a shock that perhaps you just forgot. Your ruin increases, and you will get a condition. So check your character sheet for that. And I will give you a condition. Okay. You can see Jill, the guard is closest to you. He stands completely still, his arms just pinned to his sides, and he looks somehow even less lifelike than he did before. But there's something dangling around his neck, a key, and crusted with the jewels. It's gleaming gold and silver. The pattern of jewels matches the one on the lock on the gate. What do you do?
Not a big question. I would just step to him and say friendly, "Excuse me," and take it.
And you manage to slip it off his neck. He follows you with his eyes at all times. But the lock fits, and the gate opens, and you are through to the garden. this is where we take a short break and return in the second ring.
Just before we move on, how can I use the omens skill?
Well, you have omens instead of rituals, don't you? Or do you have sigils instead of no? So it's just a skill. Well, then it depends on what comes up in the fiction and what you come up with. Okay.
Because I might want to look more closely at the corpse of Alexander's servant and see if I can read something of our destiny.
Nice.
Maybe.
Yeah, let's start with that. We see Jill opening the gates and Alexander slowly getting up out of the mud. Hager, you stand staring at your hands while one dead young boy, young man, falls to the ground impaled on a spear. Petur, this is your domain.
Yes, I take a closer look at his corpse, mumble something. His arm is completely limp, so I just kind of lift it up and study his grooves, what do you call them, in the hands, and then I nod and mumble something more, and then I move on to the wound itself, the spear wound, and I try to kind of get some different angles and study it some more. Blood is one of the most enlightening clues about our future. So.
All right, let's have a roll for this. So you get 1 die for your skill, and I'm going to say that you can have as a devil's bargain that the reading of omens is an ancient and powerful art, and it is liable to be noticed by those who have similar powers. So you can have that as a devil's bargain. Something in the estate
I will
know that you did this.
take that devil's bargain, I think.
Okay. So, and you have 2 white, unless you decide that this risks your mind or body.
Well, I guess maybe it depends on the knowledge gained from studying the corpse.
It's up to you.
I think if it's up to me, I will not have a dark dice as well.
Okay.
Just
Roll away.
Roll 2 dice, 2 white dice.
Yes.
You get 2 and a 1, so it's not so good.
Not so good indeed. You mumble and trace your fingers up the man's torso, follow it, the trails of blood, with your eyes, with your hands, and suddenly you jerk back, sharp pain in your hand. You've cut yourself in the spear, and your own blood seeps down and intermingles with the dead. This can certainly not be a good sign. And as you see the drops of your fresh blood mingle with the drops fall on the ground, you feel someone watching, someone smiling, laughing, floating high up in the air.
You
Looking
guys
down.
hear that laughter just now?
What? Oh, come on, nobody's laughing now, are they? No. Anything, look at these hands. Ugh.
It's not so bad. I cut myself on this spear. It's a little bit worse, I think.
Isn't that way? Yeah, I burned my hands, you cut yours. Yeah, very funny. Mm.
And Alexander gets up and looks horrified for a second as he looks over at his servant. Then he starts to look a bit sad. Maybe he's finally realized the error of his ways as he looks at his dead servant. And then he says, I have to walk. And then he turns around and he starts walking towards the entrance. This is preposterous. Preposterous.
You all continue through the gates into the vast gardens of elaborately cut hedges. It's a labyrinth, really. This garden seems to go on forever, and its cherry blossom trees and flower beds. Most prominently the bushes that are trimmed, shaped into forms of people dancing. And they must have been recently cut. They must have been meticulously cared for and managed. Though this place seems isolated and from the outside abandoned, this can't be so. As you walk past these hedges, your lungs are filled with the scent of perfume, of memories, and you get lost in them. These memories that aren't necessarily your own. Petter, what memory do you dive into? Do you recall now? A memory of plenty, of riches, something you never had?
I think the memories from a kitchen, from some cook or a person helping out. The kitchen is very, very vast. Many people milling about. There's the kind of energy. Something big is happening soon. Maybe a big feast or a gathering, something like that. Many guests. You can see people rushing in and out of the pantry, carrying all sorts of raw ingredients, and I guess the memory is kind of just of this situation.
Jill, what sort of luxury do these scents evoke in you that you have never touched, never felt in your life?
I see myself stepping in a room where are lots of mirrors in this room, and some servant is handing me a really beautiful, colorful dress, and I'm placing this dress before me, and then I quickly change myself into this dress, and the next servant is already waiting with the next dress, and I just admire myself in the mirror.
Nice. Petter and Jill, you find yourselves on your knees, waking up from these memories, and you see Alexander and Hagir. They're a little bit further ahead. They seem to just wander about aimlessly, going through some strange gestures. Alexander, what is it that you are doing now in these memories that are not your own?
In Petter and Jill's memories?
Memories that are that belong to none of you present, but that you feel now. They are have floated into your head and invaded your brain through the scents of this garden.
So I think there's a memory of what this place used to look like when the Duquesse lived here, and it was a place that was just completely filled to the brim with art and fine statues, and Alexander is just walking around looking at this fine art and all these opulent statues and gold engravings around everywhere, and he's just walking around and looking at these images that are just, as he's walking around, gradually becoming less and less human. So he's seeing You're seeing an image first of the person who's posing, looking very, very fancy. And then there's a new photograph next to him, or a painting rather, next to him, of a man fencing with what seems to be just a dark shadow. Doesn't seem like it belongs in the painting, but it's there. And then the next painting is it's a man on top of a white horse. He's riding, and behind him is what looks like it's hard to tell. It's almost like tentacles that are coming out from the edges of the painting, grabbing towards the horse, almost reaching him, but not quite. And as he keeps walking down the halls, the paintings become more and more grotesque. The humans take on less humanly shapes, more disfigured. It's very strange, but he seems to enjoy it. You're on mute.
You two find yourself on your knees. Painful contrast to this memory you just experienced. Good. You two are lost in some stranger's memories of luxury and opulence. What is it that you see?
Hagi moves around very much. A very special pattern, though the others cannot see it. It seems that he has is walking around and avoiding somebody. And for Hagi, not so strange at all, because what he sees is a big gathering of people around him. It seems that they are alive for him, at least. He sees them as real figures. Something's odd. It seems like their voices are a bit echoed, reminiscence of past things, but he's having trouble. These memories of the real thing stands before him. It's many well-educated people. A lot of them in magic, fine arts, all the things that a well-educated gentleman should know. And something which Hagi himself, remember, he taught a lot of well-off students. They seem to be feasting, drinking fine wine, and enjoying a lot of special imports, exotic dishes, faraway kingdoms. It starts very nicely with a very nice discussion. However, as he moves around the crowd, the topics of the discussion becomes more crude, more hands-on. They seem to be more gluttonous. Perhaps they had too much wine. Hagi remembers he's been there himself a lot of times in his tavern, having too much mead, rambling about his, successes of the past, what he's done. Maybe he couldn't told anyone else. I think it was not drunk at the time, and it seems like a lot of people are doing this as well. Yeah, but they're saying too much, a little bit too much. I mean, experiments far beyond the ethics of any proper gentleman, surely. Now it becomes crude. Now he's I mean, he's done a lot of interesting experiments, but not quite as horrible as these. No, even for Hagi, even for Hagi who's waking up in his own vomit. No, this is right. No, you as a magician, as a gentleman, you would never do this. And as he sees them talking, even about more dreadful things, they all become more dreadful. They seem to lose their grandeur, lose their fine appearance, and become less human. You can't really put a fine point on it, but something seems off, very off. He's afraid.
And you two collapse face first on the ground. And this journey through this garden, this labyrinthine garden, is a series of these sometimes pleasant, sometimes disturbing memories, and these rude awakenings, jolts of hard earth on face, until you all snap out of your last memory and lie prostrate in front of a great collection of golden statues. There's a mighty arch through which you can see the buildings of the estate clearly, and the golden statues all around. They seem to welcome you with their polite smiles and waves. And though you recognize them, one and all, from your visions, you know the darker secrets that they hide. But in you must go into the third ring of this incursion. This is where we take another short break. Sorry.
But
okay,
you did manage to start the recording.
Yes, but I just wanted to start the music as well. All right, let's go. That might me. Oh no, come on.
People need to cheer on the mouse.
There you go.
Good.
All right, we are moving on to the third incursion. Third ring, rather. You go through the gate, through the arch, past the statues. You see the main palace off there in the distance. It's a huge white building with the golden accents. It's connected to a few lesser buildings closer to you. And you can see the main entrance of there in the distance. The main building. There's also another entrance, maybe a servant's entrance, closer by. Looks like it's open. Suddenly there's a clink, as if coins dropped onto a metal floor. Another clink, and then another, and then Alexander, you feel something quite heavy hit you on the head. You see stars for a moment, and you see a piece of metal fall down, roll down onto the ground. It's looks like it's a small chunk of bronze, and then you see, all of you see them all around, hailing down on you. It's a storm. It's a hailstorm of precious metals, and it's deadly. What do you do?
Alexander says, "Oh, this place is literally coming apart. Father gave me a real challenge when he told me to fix it up."
This is surely a blessing.
Blessing?
Coins literally raining down.
I got hit
as
in
you
my
s-
head.
As
That's
you
not a
say
blessing.
that, Petter, as you say that, large chunk hits your ear, and you can feel a kind of, it's a strange sort of wet ripping sensation, and your hearing sort of goes funny on one side, and as you reach up with a hand to examine, you feel something flabby, soft, warm, and moist hanging down about here, and you feel closer. You can feel that there's a, where your ear used to be, there's now a chunk of metal. It's just lodged itself between your ear and your skull. Ripped your ear half apart, half off. And the rest of you as well. The statues, they are just pelted with these metal chunks, and it makes dents in their hard metal bodies. What it will do to yours if you let it keep raining onto you, it's not going to be good. What do you do?
Well, I think we should try to run to shelter. If we are exposed to the elements, we will surely die.
Yeah. What's the closest shelter? Is that the servants' entrance?
Probably. Yeah.
That's the most obvious way.
Yeah. So Alexander agrees, and he says, "We can't stay out here. We gotta run, guys. Let's go."
Yep, let's go
Yeah.
to the servants' entrance.
Your father saw me going in the servants' entrance.
And you run as fast as you can, trying to escape this this murderous rain. And you topple into the servants' entrance, into a comforting darkness, stillness. And Petur, you could feel the blood is running down your neck, and You can feel the chunk of metal that has lodged itself close to your skull. It's just sort of stuck there. And your ear, it's as you touch it, it comes off completely. Hold it between your fingers and look at it. Let's have you roll a ruin roll for this.
Okay.
It's one black die.
It's just one. Okay. I shall roll it. And it is 1. So that's less than my ruin
So you're safe.
score. I'm safe.
You've seen this kind of thing before. You're a healer. Doesn't disturb you that much.
Nothing to worry about. Indeed, it is a blessing, because I was given this chunk of metal. It's still sitting there.
Serves you right, Petter, for trying to usurp the glory.
You can see a light far off in the distance, kind of a golden glow at the end of what looks like a large hallway. It's actually a gallery, a long gallery lined with statues, mirrors, and paintings. And as you start to walk through it, you hear faint whispers, as if there's someone gossiping. And you catch your names. Someone's talking about a Jill. Yes, Jill. She's always so arrogant. So she looked up to me, you know. Always follow me around like annoying little brat. I'm glad we're not together anymore. It's yeah, you know, it's better off dead, really. And you recognize the voice of your brother, Jill. He's speaking, talking about you in a tone that you've never heard him use before. It's contemptuous. Or have you heard him use this tone before? Was this what was hiding behind those smiling eyes and the kind words all this time? Was contempt? Let's have you roll ruin for this.
Yeah, 6. Perfect.
Oh, yes. This hits you right where it hurts.
Yeah, I guess.
You will take a condition, raise your ruin. I will give you a condition. Let's give you. Let's give you this. Okay.
You just gave me the real condition of my life. That's why I'm laughing. Yeah. By the way, Anna, have you heard the story I was just telling to Espen about my brother? Or was it a coincidence?
Yes, I overheard, yes.
Ah, perfect.
You all keep walking down this long, seemingly endless gallery. It's at least for you, Jill. It's now become almost like torture to keep going down here. You don't want to hear the voice of your brother just saying mean, nasty things about you. Just ruining all the good memories. I don't know how you feel about your quest.
I think when just the voice came, and at first I thought I never had heard him talking like this, and then I started to doubt, and I thought maybe I had, because I was really small and I can't remember anything, everything. So maybe he did indeed talk about me this way. So right now this is my attention is a bit focused to these thoughts, and yeah, I'm not so concentrated to my environment as I should be, and yeah, doubting a little bit what I'm doing here about my quest.
Hagir, as you walk through here, you notice that the mirrors, whenever you I mean the paintings there. There's something familiar about the theme, the motif. It's a kind of a gathering of sorts, a church centered around the cross, and you can see all of the pictures. There's a throng of people there, of some kind of religious followers, and they are gathered around a central figure who's quite familiar. And the people there are also familiar. You recognize some of your students there. There's Tom, and there's Ylfur. There's even Egil is there. Your most faithful and trusting student or follower. They all look up to you with such rapt expressions of awe and belief. First, it's quite heartwarming to see, really, these scenes from your past, these moments of past glory captured perfectly in the grandest way possible in these oil paintings. Then as you walk on, you see the pictures changing. You can see your students. You're being harassed by your enemies, being threatened, killed, tortured, mutilated. And you can see your faithful followers there, and some of the later paintings they're torn limb from limb. Their heads are displayed on pikes, and in all of them there's a figure. It's kind of artistic liberty of sorts. It's a figure that doesn't belong in the scene anymore. It's a person that they all seem to curse. Eilfur and Egil, they seem to just their faces are so clearly painted with expressions of disappointment and rage, disbelief that you abandoned them, that you let them die, that you turned out to be nothing but a charlatan, not a savior of anyone but yourself. And the last pictures, the last paintings are of you on your own, on your journey into decay, into alcoholism. And you can see how pitiful you are. It's something that calls for a ruin roll.
Okay. Well, just the one black die, right?
Roll the one dark die, yes. All right.
Yep. That's one more for me.
This hits you hard. It's really incredible how the artist has been able to capture your decrepitude. And I will give you a condition.
Can I add a little bit?
Of course.
He looks at the paintings, does very proudly. Finally, somebody unknown had understood him. But as he goes on and he sees a story too well known to him, Parasite became saddened, almost enraged. How dare someone paint this atrocity? But hey, wait. Yes, maybe it's true. Maybe they should paint the atrocities there to document this for the future. Obviously, this is exactly why he is here. He's here to take revenge on his poor students. Poor Tom, Urferton, and Egil. Oh, my best student. How dare they? Disgust? No. Yes, to the perpetrators, obviously. But he goes on and sees what inevitably is the target of their ill feelings, their feelings of betrayal and disappointment. It is too similar to himself. Clearly, he says to himself, This is wrong. This must be no. The painter is a falsifier of history. Obviously, he makes something right to everybody to believe him. I believed him at first, but no, this is totally wrong. It is wrong. I know. I never ran away because I was afraid. No. Somebody had to preserve the teachings. Don't you understand? It's very important. I obviously, as the master, I must preserve the teachings of our old temple. The temple of Tanaloth. It is important. It is the highest important, much more important than you students will ever know. And you being disappointed at me, you're wrong. You're wrong, and I told you that all the time. And he reaches in his mantle somewhere. Somewhere, yeah, far, a little hidden in a very secret pocket. There's a small bottle of very strong liquor. This is wrong, I tell you. And he collapses and weeps while he empties the contents of the bottle.
That's very nice. You've got a condition on your character sheet.
Ooh.
Alexander,
Yes.
as you walk through this gallery, perhaps you've seen finer. It is quite a large collection, you must say, of statues and paintings, but these statues, they look kind of similar. All of them are the same, or all of them are of the same character. Why would the sculpture feel like they have to make a statue of this man, this cripple? His back is all bent and broken. Why? Yeah, and there's even, you can see some of that. There's even like a stain on his chest, like a wound. Why would they dignify such an unworthy person with so many statues? You feel suddenly as if they're looking at you, all of them. And you can hear his voice in your head. Master, I loved you, Master. I loved you.
Jeffers, this is not the time. Get out of there. I've got other things to do.
Yes, sir, Master. I will shut up, Master. I will shut up as you always told me to do, Master.
Yes, shut up, Jeffers. I don't have the time for this.
Yes, I'm doing my best to shut up.
No, you're not.
Except, I do not care, Master.
What?
I do not care at all. What you say?
What do you mean you don't care?
I'm dead, you see. You betrayed me. You didn't care about me at all. And why should I care about you? When I'm dead? And you know, Master, I don't think you're great at all.
If you don't shut up, you're gonna be even deader. And then he just knocks one of the statues as hard as he can with his elbow. Take that! Get out of here!
And you hit your elbow hard against the metal statue, which shakes a little bit, and you can feel a kind of crack inside your elbow joint. A sharp pain.
Why did you do that? You imbecile!
Maybe you can know what it's like to feel pain now, Master. I've been in so much pain my whole life.
You damn cripple. You were never worth my time. Don't you see that? You were just a freaking peasant.
Oh,
I'm glad to have you out of my life.
well. Look at you, talking with a glorious face full of mud. And
But
your
my face is
arm.
beautiful.
Does it straighten anymore? Have you become a cripple yourself?
Don't look at me. I mean, look at me. I'm beautiful. Damn you.
No. I'm looking at you, all right. I can see every part of you. And you can feel the eyes of all the statues lining the walls of this long corridor. Pierce you, scrutinize your every part. You feel that your clothes there are all torn and stained, and your hair is no longer its glorious long locks. It's just like cut as if a child had been let loose with the scissors. You're no longer beautiful at all. And you can see that as yourself as well in the mirrors. Besides the golden statues, you look like a beggar, or worse. Give me a ruin roll.
Fair enough. Ooh, that's a 4.
That's an increase.
That's a failure.
You're already at 4, so that you're safe.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm at 4.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah, the words of your servant, they don't affect you as deeply as they might have. Tell us why.
Because he's just a nobody. Who cares about that guy? He's dead. Dead people's words don't matter. I'm still good looking. I'm maybe not as good looking as Petter, but no, I'm better looking than Petter. Damn him. You're on mute.
Damn it. Petter,
Yes.
you have been walking relatively undisturbed along this hallway. You've seen your companions be stricken with various signs of mental illness, perhaps, or perhaps possession. That's surely it's a test of some sort. You can feel yourself getting closer to something powerful. You see the statues, the wealth, the opulence displayed here so openly, so ostentatiously. It's surely a sign of great things of divine will or providence, you will find what you seek here. That much is certain. There's one final statue at the end of the hallway, and it is most glorious. It strikes you that when you look at it from afar that this must be your lord, the Dark Lord, made carved into gold and silver and obsidian. Their eyes.
Avert my eyes.
Yes, you must.
It's too sacred to look at.
It's incredible. It's so beautiful. Oh, you look away, but you desire to put your eyes upon your Lord just once. You know it's wrong, but it's so hard to not succumb to temptation. Give me a rune roll.
Okay. And then dark dice. And it is a 5. So my rune is
yes, and you are not able to resist looking up at your Lord, and they are beautiful. It's overwhelming, really. They're dark eyes, majestic posture. Their aura of power and righteousness, menace. But it is not before you have seen and felt these feelings of reverence, of worship, of devotion, that you notice this statue. It's not of your Lord. It's of some man, some noble. You've seen them portrayed in a gallery in town. It's Duquisse. How could you have mistook him for your lord? How? This is the height of blasphemy. You're not worthy of your robes. Give me another rune roll.
Oh!
Thank God.
Okay, I'll make another roll.
Yes.
And it is 3.
Okay, so you are safe this time. Let's see. You will get one condition from the fail. That one fail. There you go. And have reached the end of the gallery, for better or worse. Beyond lies the estate proper. You can hear a faint sound of orchestral music, of lively sounds of a party or a ball. They're up there. And, that's where you have to go. And this is where we take another break before we move on to ring number 4. We're back on. You follow the music. It's loud and upbeat, but inside you it's a different tune. There's a strange juxtaposition of the of a tune that is meant to make you dance and be merry, with the sensation that it is quite the opposite. You enter into a grand hall, clad with the mirrors on the roof, great tapestries, colorful paintings, and large golden statues of people clad in fancy clothes, ready to dance. Which of you is the first to enter this this ballroom?
What do the people in the ballroom look like?
Well, they look like they are nobles, aristocrats, dressed in their finest clothes, ready to have their pleasure.
Alexander, he steps forward and for a moment he hesitates, and he looks down at his deed and he says, "Father was told this place would be abandoned when he bought the deed from that lady. This is very peculiar, but Alexander is no man to turn down a dance from a beautiful lady. But not like this." And he pulls out a sort of like it's a sort of like a little box thing with which when he opens it shines a light on Alexander. And sorry, this is a sort of beautification device which he uses when he goes to fancy balls and is trying to impress ladies. Because you never know, so he always brings it with him. So he's trying to run a ritual to make himself appear more charming and attractive.
Excellent, excellent. Let's have you roll for that. Is this a dark die? Are you skilled?
Let's see, what would that be? I'm skilled in debauchery, but I don't think that applies. No, not skilled.
Okay. Devil's Bargain.
Hmm.
So you will attract the most attention of anyone in this group when you do this, regardless of what happens.
That doesn't sound like it's a good thing. But for Alexandra, it's a great thing, so yes.
Okay, so that's one dark and one white then.
Right. Rolling. Ooh. That's a 5 on the dark die. Just the highest.
It means. Yeah.
That means his rune goes up, as far as I understand it.
Yeah, I think so.
Although he succeeds as well. Yeah.
It seems your transformation caused the music to stop as well.
Dramatic. Very dramatic. Now for the ballroom music.
No attention
Make-
for music. All attention is on Alexander.
All the musicians just stop because they are admiring you.
Like when they're in the movies, right? Exactly when you see it comes up and everybody stops and
Yeah.
you stop.
Yeah.
Yes. Everyone is looking at you.
It is me, Alexander.
Did the music really stop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. Nothing happened on this on my end. Well, I'll take this moment to remind you all also that most of you now have access to the reduction rolls, which means that you should be trying to sabotage the others. Okay, so tell us how it looks when you do this transformation, Alexander.
As the box opens, a light shines out from it, from the box, onto Alexander, and then a powder starts to come out and dissipate into the air, and it envelops Alexander. And when this powder dissipates so that you can see Alexander again, it's like he's had a team of 2-3 makeup artists go over him, fix every little detail on his skin. All of his imperfections are fixed. All of his pores are perfect. His hair has been mended for the time being, at least. So it again looks almost perfect and shining as he steps into the room, ready to dance.
And you step into the row of giant statues that all line up straighten up, take a bow, and one of them, lovely lady Shirley, maybe 15 feet tall, made of solid bronze, picks you up and starts to twirl you around like a tiny little doll. You are the center of attention, and all the statues, they vie for your attentions. They queue up and shout for them to have the next dance with you. And in their giant metal hands, you are like a fragile toy. All of you, Jill, Hagir, and Petter, you see this. The statues, they're thundering around. It looks incredibly dangerous to be out there on the ballroom floor, but you notice there's a door at the opposite end of the hall. Door with some stairs, and something tells you that the real treasure is to be found there beyond this ballroom. If you can only cross it safely, that would be the path to what you seek. And for the moment, Alexander has created the perfect distraction. Although it's still going to be quite dangerous to cross here, as these statues, they are very large, and they are dancing with a ferocious glee. What do you do?
Hagir, he sees the door, he sees the statues, but he's not impressed. His mind is full of thoughts of the past actions, not being able to be undone. He's drunk. The only thing maybe he feels that is that he has to get out of here. Anywhere. Life means nothing. Everything's lost anyways, and he's unstable, and he's drunk, and he's everything's wrong. At least I can get out of here and go somewhere and cry. And he sees the door as an opportunity to get out of there, no matter what happens. After all, who cares what happens? Maybe, if he finds the cross, everything will be alright. There is this small glimmer of hope within him that shines. And perhaps behind that door, you'll find something. So he heads straight for that, pretty oblivious to his surroundings, and not very capable of running because he's too drunk. So he has trouble keeping himself up, but he tries, and he leaps out towards the dance door.
Okay, give us a roll for that. You are risking your body.
Yeah.
This is a dark die. Do you have a skill?
I'm skilled in drinking. And I'm skilled in rituals and symbols, so I guess only that the drinking gives the body a kind of dancing touch. Is all
Well, not by that. But you
Yeah.
can have a devil's bargain.
Anyone has a devil's bargain?
You will need to continue dancing, like if you had dancing shoes.
Okay.
Yeah. You accept?
Except he's too drunk anyways. Why not?
Yes. All right.
So that's
Give us a roll.
One white and one dark.
One white and one dark.
Okay.
So that's 3 as the highest. Yeah. So you dance drunkenly across the floor here, and for a moment it looks almost magical, like one of those sequences in movies where the protagonist seems to magically avoid all danger by just happening to step the right way, as Pirate here, and avoiding being flattened by a giant foot, sidestep here, and pas de bourrée, and you avoid a giant fist by ducking away in the last second, and then the magic stops, and there's a sickening crunch as your legs are crushed beneath a lady's high heels. They're just pierced at the knees, and when she takes another step, we're just laughing and down at you. Your legs from your knees down, they are just hanging on through a few torn ligaments and pieces of skin.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Give us a
Good news
ring
is
roll.
this solves this dancing problem.
You don't have to dance.
You can still use your hands, but
The show must go on. Then suddenly he feels, well, he can't feel his legs anymore. I'm in intense pain. Feels sick and carries his body closer to the door. But maybe he's about 5 to 10 meters from it. He starts and pukes, and he gets into it. I think he just got off the dancing floor, but he's starting to feel the excruciating pain combined with the numbing dizziness from alcohol and loss of blood.
And there's no alternative. You just have to keep moving through to the music. You know, if you just dance, if you just give it your all, you'll have your legs back. Of course, you can't dance without legs. So if you just dance, then you will have legs.
Hagi, he stops for a moment and. Well, life is a dance anyway. And then he tumbles around. Close to the door. For my students, for myself, Then for the temple.
And Alexander just goes, I don't know him.
I have a plan for how to solve this.
Very
Go
nice.
ahead.
Okay, so Petter sees the situation and he shakes his head and he looks into his robes and he produces an icon of Saint Antonia, the Living Elegy. And he goes down on one knee and he looks at the icon in front of him and he starts a prayer. So he's going to perform a ritual to appear as the deceased. He will try to appear as the servant of Alexander.
Okay. So give us a roll for that. That's dark die. And you don't have a skill, right? So
No, I guess it would be some illusion or something, but I don't have any skill in that.
so Devil's Bargain, anyone?
Can I try for a reduction roll?
Well, you can do something, and then we'll see if it's a reduction roll. But let's do Petter's roll first.
Sure.
Devil's Bargain, anyone?
I guess, could you involve all the playable characters in this devil's role?
Yes, it doesn't have to be a direct consequence related to the action in question, necessarily.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that Alexander notices him and cries out his name.
I will.
But suddenly the attention is also brought up to him because Alexander, calls out to him. Then everybody in the room is also very curious to who this new person is.
Yeah.
Okay.
You accept?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to get his attention, so for me, it's very positive. I don't know if you accept it then, but
Let's have you roll dark and a white die then.
I shall roll. Ooh, and it's the white dice is a 6.
Ooh. Oh, so you get to describe how you do this.
Yes, I start mumbling more intensely as I focus on this religious icon in front of me, and around me there is an effect of the light kind of darkening, becomes darker and darker, and a supernatural light revolves just around me, and the light is so intense it's impossible to see, but you can kind of hear some soft sounds of there is some transformation going on. You can only hear it, but it doesn't sound very pretty. Can maybe see a flash of an arm or something stretching out until finally the effect subsides. The light goes back to normal, and instead of Petter, there is the servant standing there. And I scream out into the room, calling attention to me, addressing Alexander.
And Alexander is standing in the palm of one of these large women, obviously enjoying himself, as he hears the sound of Petter calling out. He looks around, and he sees Jeffers standing there, and he's horrified. Jeffers! I told you, don't test me.
Yes,
Leave me
sir.
alone.
Yes, sir. And I fall down on my knees, and I assume this begging position. Master, please help us.
And Alexander turns around to the woman he was just dancing with, and he whispers, "That guy, he said some very bad things about you. He's come here to take away all of your stuff. He's a very bad guy. Help me."
Oh, dear, I can see that. He's a mongrel. Ugh.
Yes.
Look at his back. It's all bent. Ugh.
He's a no good brigand. He's come in here to invade your privacy.
Rat. It's a vermin. It's a cockroach. Let's step on him.
And I scream again, please, master.
You can get a reduction roll for that, Alexander.
How do the other statues react on the situation?
Well, you see all of the... good question. You see all of the lady statues. They look down at you and they start screaming and lifting up their skirts and jumping around. Ah! It's a cockroach! There's a cockroach! Kill it! And,
sorry, that was not my intention, but it's nice.
all of the gentlemen there, they start stomping around with their giant laced boots. Jill, you can you're a witness to this. What do you do?
Are they? So they are all stomping around. Are they stomping around aimlessly, or are they trying to reach?
No, they are. They are definitely trying to squash this little.
Okay,
cockroach.
perfect. That's just exactly what I was waiting for. So now I can use stealth and just stealth around this room at the walls when nobody is taken care of. To reach the door.
No honor among
It's a
thieves.
nice move. It's a nice move. Okay, so you will do the ritual. That's
It's not a
you
ritual
want to do?
stealth.
you will just sneak past. Okay, that's fine. So you are skilled
Yes.
in this, and I think because these statues, they are moving about, and it's very dangerous to just be in the room, so you are risking your body. Do you want the devil's bargain? Anyone
Sure.
has a devil's bargain?
as you sneak through the room, one of the statues accidentally hits you, and it breaks both of your arms.
No, I can't accept because it's something else will happen in any way. It's not possible. So, I will roll.
Yes, go for it.
Yes!
2 dice.
Ah, it was a 6. Well, okay.
4 and a 3, so it's a success anyway. So I think what will happen is that you will well, you will be one of the statues will hit you. It sort of hits you inadvertently as you sneak across, and it just flings you into this doorway through it, and well, you don't break anything, but you're bruised and you're bloody, and well, you can feel and just as you land hard and sort of slide across the floor, and your face is all the right side of your face is all torn up by this, but you are through. Let's see how you are doing, Petter. The statues are doing their best to crush you, to squash you into jelly.
I will try something if I have the chance.
Yes, go for
Okay,
it.
so I will kind of scream and make myself very vile and scary. So maybe they will give me an extra chance to run a little while. I kind of scare them.
Yes. All right. So you get a dark die.
And maybe I can use omens to my advantage. Maybe I'm the scourge of this house or something. Very ominous proclamation.
Yeah. So you recite a reference, a prophecy, bearing on this house. Okay. Well, let's buy that.
Okay.
Devil's bargain.
Your proclamation is indeed quite terrifying. So terrifying that you yourself are terrified by it. You will keep screaming for quite some time.
Will definitely accept that.
Okay. So you get to roll 3 dice for this.
Okay. I shall roll. And I get a 5, a white dice.
So let's hear your proclamation.
Your sins have brought this vile monster upon you. It may be small and insignificant, but you shall surely suffer if you destroy me. And I maybe to them I have a very, very light voice, like a mouse. But at the end of the proclamation, the words kind of meld into just screaming and babbling, and I start like running into the room.
Yes, because as you speak, you feel the power of the Dark Lord. It's as if they are speaking through you, and you feel the truth of your words. You feel the truth, the terrible truth that you are the vile monster. You are a cockroach. You are brought into this world as a punishment for those who have been greedy and selfish. Indeed, you are doing the Lord's work, but that work is that of being the vilest thing this earth has seen. Take a ruin roll.
I really love this explanation.
Okay, so it's single dark dice. And it's a 1, so it's good. Good.
Nice.
Yes. You scream, but you do not lose your mind. And as you...
And I try to run in the direction of Alexander. Templeton.
That is straight towards the statues. Okay. So, Alexander, you see this creature whom you thought was a person, whom you thought was your traveling companion or fellow treasure hunter, just at least an insignificant nobody. Not this vile creature has taken the form of your dead servant, and now it turns out that your servant was the punishment for all of mankind's sins. You can feel it inside you. This is the deep revulsion of this creature, and you feel some sympathy with the statues that are now just like cowering and squeezing you all too tightly in their golden hands. What do you do?
I think he's probably panicking a little bit because this demon monster thing is running straight towards him, but it doesn't want to come down and face him on the ground. So what he starts to do is he starts to climb up this metal person while he's just constantly yelling, "Get away from me! Get away from me! Get away from me!"
So give us a roll for that. You are risking your body, and well, would you have a skill for this? No, doesn't seem like that. Devil's Spar again.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
You manage to climb a little bit up, but you slip and kind of turn around, so you hang by the foot or something.
You lose your grip as you climb out of their palm, but you lose your grip. Or...
Lose my grip. Okay, I can lose my grip.
All right, so that will happen regardless of whether you succeed or not. So go ahead.
Yes. So that's a 4 on the black die.
Well, so you just about managed to slip out of this lady's fingers as she was about to crush you in fright, and you climb onto her forearm, but it's metal, it's golden, it's slippery, so you fall, and well, you try to catch yourself. For a moment you catch hold of the sleeve of her dress with your fingers, but alas, you're too weak, and you fall to the ground, to the floor, the hard ballroom floor. You hear a crack as your shoulder pops out of its proper place. The pain is quite intense. It's hard to move, and now the monster that is Petur runs toward you. You can see no escape. You have to attack. It's the only way.
Yes.
Give me a ruin roll.
Okay. Let's see. That's a 5. That's
Okay.
more than I
So
have.
your ruin will increase, and you will keep seeing Petur as this monster that you need to destroy. And I'll give you another condition, perhaps. Let's see. I think we should we'll say that this second condition of yours, your obsession, is now completely and utterly dominating. So you will well, you will start obsessing that your skin isn't made of precious metal like these statues are. You really should be made of gold. You know, all the best people are made of gold. And that's basically all you can think about. That and destroying this menace, this vile thing. So what do you do?
Well, I think
I do something before you do something.
Let's have Alexander say what he's planning first.
Okay.
I think he's really scared by this figure coming straight towards him, right out of his nightmares, and he thinks that, this is it. I'm gonna die. No. It's not my time. It's not my time. I must become like them. Then he turns around and he looks at the foot of this huge statue right next to him. and he starts grabbing a hold of her toe, and he's trying to like pull out the pieces of the toe so that he can attach it to him to make like make it a part of his skin, just imprint it onto his skin. I must become precious, my father. He will love me if I just become precious.
All right, Petter, what do you do?
Am I close to Alexander?
It's quite close. You can see him like rolling around on the floor there and grabbing at the toes of these statues desperately. You're just a few meters away from him.
Okay, so as I approach him, I kind of skid on the ground and grabs him, and I kind of shake him and beg him, Sir, you must come to your senses. You must save us. We will surely die here. We must get out of here.
Alexander just yells, "Ah!" as he's trying to rip off this piece of metal.
So, Petter, you can see that there's no reaching Alexander. He's just frantically trying to rip the metal out of these statues for some reason. You don't really know, but you can see also the statues there. They're fleeing you with all haste. So Alexander, I don't know if you follow them, but they're running away from you now. All that precious metal, they're running away. Perhaps there's another place to get more metal, maybe in the treasure chamber that you've been seeking. It's suddenly quite still in this hall. All the statues have pressed themselves into a corner. The path is clear. What you do?
He thinks about it for a second. He looks at all these statues standing in the corner, cowering, and then he sees this terrifying zombie monster right next to him with a broken back, staring right into him, begging him for release. But then he realizes that if he runs over to the statues, he's going to be stuck in the corner. So he realizes, I gotta get to the treasure room. I gotta find armor. I gotta find metal. And then he runs away as fast as he can towards the door.
Okay, and I of course run after him.
And as you run blindly through the doorway, you stumble and fall across a limp body or body that's moving on the ground. That's rhythmically, spasmodically. Hagir is swimming in his own vomit and blood, and Petter, you follow after. You can see this pathetic sight of Alexander Templeton, the once great nobleman, and Hagir, the wizard, just lying there. Jill, where are you in this moment?
I should be quite ahead because I haven't waited and watched. I've stood up and went on.
So that means that you are the first to set foot into the grand hall that is the final ring of this incursion. And let's have a short break before we move on.
How long does the transformation last?
Your transformation.
Yes.
Well, it lasts until you dispel it, I suppose.
I
Tense.
suggest you do that, or Alexander will try and kill you.
You stand on a, or lie riding at the foot of a large staircase. Jill, you are already through. You have already climbed this staircase. At the top of the stairs, there is a pair of massive doors, and through those doors there's a vast hall. The ceiling is many tens of meters above you. It's painted in light blue tones, as if it's a blue sky, a blue summer sky, with a few wisps of clouds here and there are beautiful naked people there among the clouds, looking down upon the floor, which is covered with bodies. People frozen in the act of climbing, fighting their way to the middle of the room, where there is a mountain of bodies on top of bodies on top of bodies that have tried to climb up the single pedestal, the single pillar that stretches all the way up to the ceiling. And on top of this pillar there is a throne where sits a man dressed in opulent clothing, grinning down at you. So, you've come to visit, have you? Well, join me then. Join me if you can climb up to me. Well, I'll share with you. I have wealth enough for everyone in the whole world. But no one has managed to climb all the way up before, of course, so have yet to have a good reason to share. But if you can make it, then I'll give you a taste of wealth beyond your imaginings. He leans back. What do you do?
Do I feel in any way, appealed by this? Because right now I don't feel the need.
There is real power in his promise. You can feel the truth of his words, that he really has wealth beyond imagining. With just a taste of his wealth, you could do whatever you please You could get whatever money could buy from this world.
Are you the owner of this place?
I am the owner of everything. Of course, I am the owner of this place. What do you think? You.
Where is the jewel?
I are one of those who come here not on a quest for wealth, but with a purpose. I like it. It's interesting, refreshing. There's not many people of your inclination that makes it this far. Well, let me see if you can guess where your precious jewel is. And he sucks on his fat golden ring that is, of course, studded with a very particular jewel.
Okay, how high is this throne under the ceiling?
It's you mean how far it is from the ceiling itself?
Yes.
It's it's a few meters from the ceiling, so he wouldn't be able to touch the ceiling unless he stood up and jumped.
Okay. Well, just one moment. I would say I try to use a ritual.
Okay.
Which is the topsy-turvy.
Nice. So it's a dark die.
Not skilled, unfortunately.
Devil's bargain.
Sure.
So you will affect multiple things in this room, in addition to yourself. If that's what if you're trying to make yourself fly to the ceiling, you will also make other things fly to the ceiling.
I'm not trying to make myself fly. I will change the gravity so that I can walk the walls and be silent.
Yeah. Okay. So you whichever direction you're trying to change gravity, it will affect more than yourself here.
Hard one. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Take the die and roll.
Come on. Yes! Yes!
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah! Woo!
So that's a 6.
Oh fuck!
That's also.
I just killed myself.
And this is perfect. Okay, so.
It's not perfect. How can you say it's perfect? It was not the plan. It was so nice, this idea. Come on.
So tell us. Well, let's actually let's have the outcome of this. Let's save it for a little bit later. Let's move back to Alexander, Hagir, and Petter. You are still at the bottom of this stair, but you are headed up one way or the other. How do we see you climb this stair? These stairs.
Well, first of all, Alexander, he takes out his deed and he points at the person sitting at the top, and he says, "You are trespassing. This is my deed for my building. Get out, or I will throw you out." And then he pulls out his rapier. "I'm not joking. I will use this."
That's great. Petter and Hagir. Petter, are you carrying Hagir?
Yes, I suppose I am.
And are you still in the form of Jeffries?
Yes, it's a kind of good carrying form. So
Yes.
He is strong.
for the moment,
So,
yes.
Alexander, for the moment, you are actually once you heard the voice of this Lord Duquisse ring down the staircase, and once you heard it, for a moment you were transported back into your old self, and everything is as if it is as it was supposed to be, with you there, and with your faithful servant by your side, finally laying claim to the place that was your birthright. You've come here to fulfill your quest, and that is what you intend to do, holding out this manuscript. Hagir lies there and bleeds out on Jeffrey's back. Oh, well, what have we here? A pretender. Fascinating. I wonder, what does this deed really say? My eyesight. No, it's not what it used to be. I'm old and dignified, you see. Why don't you come a bit closer, son, and show me that the thing? Of course, if everything is all in order, we are all civilized, aren't we? You will get what you seek. There's no question about it.
This deed was purchased by my father. My father of the Templeton estate. The gold, the ink is as if it was written in gold. You can trust me. But I will come.
Yes. Good. And you start to walk up this pile of bodies, this mountain of corpses. And as you walk, as you thread on their backs, you can feel them still squirming beneath you. They're still somehow alive, in pain, locked in an eternal struggle, an eternal fight, friend against friend, mother against daughter, son against father, fighting, clawing, biting, tearing their way up to this impossible goal, this unattainable pillar supreme wealth. And as you step on their backs and their fingers and their necks, you can suddenly feel all of their pain, all of the people that you, in your life as a nobleman's son, as a spoiled brat, all the hardships that you have ever caused anyone in this world. You feel them step by step building up inside your body, inside your mind, the injustice of it. Give us a ruin roll.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
It's a 4.
Your mind is hardened, your soul is hardened. You are on top. You are born to be on top. And despite these feelings, you press on. You don't relinquish your place. But the climb is long and arduous, and the goal is far, far up ahead. Hagir, you are delirious. You have lost so much blood, and so much of your blood has already been replaced with alcohol. Still, you do your best to dance and keep this party going. You lie there on your back. You catch a glimpse of the figure on top of this pedestal. You can see him sitting there on his throne. There's something on the armrest beside him, a bowl of sorts, a bowl of some kind of a platter of food. It's fine food, and he picks it up and see. And just looks at you through all the food that he's eating. He licks the fork. There's blood and fat on this fork that he's holding between his thumb and his index finger. It's a little bit strange shape for a fork. Doesn't look entirely practical. The prongs are bent. 2 of the prongs are bent the wrong way. They're perpendicular to the shaft. It's almost as if it's a cross. And you recognize it. It's your holy relic that Duquisse is sucking grime of. Just reveling in the grease, fat spice of this sumptuous meal. It's the ultimate defilement of this holy relic, the ultimate end of your career as a grand sorcerer. What do you do?
As Hagir observes this and recognizes the cross, he has the most sobering feeling I think he ever experienced in his life. Not so. Although he is still affected by the alcohol, he very much gets his focus back delirious though, but still able to maintain his sight on everything. Everything in this world is all about now. Now that he's lost everything, but maybe everything that can save it is within that small little thing now being, defilely being used in this person's mouth is basically pressed between his teeth, covered with his spit. No, 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 this is wrong. This is entirely wrong, and this is a blasphemous act against the whole school, against his students and everything that is there. He keeps dancing a little bit. And I think, he feels the anger burning in him. The last piece of energy has everything now relies on getting that cross out of that person's mouth, out and where it should be with him. I think he raises his hands and then gathers the rest of his energy to create a flash, a blinding explosion of light, free the
and before you do that, give me a ruin roll, just a plain old ruin roll.
If there's nothing wrong with the dice, then I got a 4.
Yep. So you are safe for the moment. You manage to unleash this final bit of sorcery, or probably final anyway. So are you skilled?
I'm skilled in rituals, yes.
Yes. And Devil's Bargain. So I'll give you the bargain that this will kill you. The effort of the sorcery will kill you.
Okay. He's dying anyway, so why not?
So.
Yep.
3 dice.
Ooh.
Nice. So, well, describe to us how this spell takes effect.
So, Hagi on the back of Peter raises up his hand, and it starts shaking a lot as you see suddenly most of his energy, things that keeps him alive almost, is like he's tearing up his life energies, being transformed into this white arcane magic beam that suddenly expands and is being cast directly towards the mastermind, the Lord of the House. It stretches, and right in front of it explodes into a big explosion of bright light.
Nice. So, Petter, give us your meeting with this figure. What do you, as you come up here, carrying the body of this fading sorcerer in the shape of a servant. This has a definite ring of prophecy to you. It is written that the servant, in shape of the servant, carrying the cripple, will meet his lord and carry out his will. You see him there, up on the pillar, eating, feasting. You recognize him. This is the figure from the statue that struck you with awe and reverence.
I remember. But gazing upon him now, it's this brilliant vision almost. I fail to remember the realization I had when I looked upon the statue. Now I just remember that this is the old god, the Dark Lord.
Yes, this is your lord, and at first he is dismissive. His attention is elsewhere, on his meal, and rightfully so. Why should he care about you? You are but a servant, a lowly servant. But then, several things happen at once. You feel something happen on your back, some movement, some flow of energy. But that's not all. You see in front of you the pile of bodies, the mountain of bodies. They suddenly start to move, as if pulled sideways by some mysterious force. Alexander, you are among those bodies on top of the mountain, and you feel yourself losing your feet. You start to fall sideways. Jill, describe to us how your spell works and how and what you are aiming to do.
So, as far as I interpret the dice, I succeed this ritual very well. So I will change the gravity. I will run up with with confidence. I run up the wall and over the ceiling, and I jump right before him. But this ritual, and in the sight of this jewel, I completely lost my mind. I just see this jewel. So right now, in this moment, I feel I should have this jewel, and I will do anything for it. And I guess in this moment there's a trap, which will be my end.
So, 100 and more thousands of bodies fly, caught by this reversal of gravity, and you tumble along with them, Alexander. And Petter, you catch a glimpse of this figure, this woman now revealed in her truest self as the assassin that she is, running along the wall, jumping. If it was an easy, just controlled gymnastic exercise, she jumps up towards the pillar, the seat of this lord, and he catches her with one fat hand around her throat in midair, looks up at her, tucks up the cross that is used as a fork, and licks it and pokes it right into her eye.
Oh.
At that moment, Hagir, you shoot out a blast of light, and everything is white, bright. Alexander,
Yes.
you are shielded from this blinding light by the mass of tumbling corpses, and you find yourself on the wall. The Lord Duquisse is within reach if you can only wade through this rain of corpses. Or they're not corpses, they're screaming actually. Their bodies still alive.
Yes, the goal is within sight. He can see him, this person who's been trespassing on this property and doing everything in his power to stop Alexander from living up to his father's wishes. So he pulls himself together, and despite being buried in many, many kilos of dead, screaming bodies, he gathers every piece of strength he has in his body and tries to make his way up towards this person to finish him. Mute.
Damn it. Dark die. Skill.
No.
Devil's Bargain. So you regardless of what happens, you finally see that the destruction isn't worth it.
Interesting. Okay, I'll take it.
Alright, so take a die. Some roll. Oh, there we go.
Ooh.
Nice, nice, nice. So, describe to us how you make it up to this pedestal, and well, you get your chance to smite your distracted enemy.
So Alexander pushes the bodies away. He is just wiggling his way out trying to make it back to the wall that he is now resting on. And he finally manages to push his way out. And just as he makes this way out, he grabs his rapier from one of the bodies lying there that had tore it out of his hand as he was tumbling down. And he looks up at this person, Duquisse, sitting there. And he starts running. He runs as fast as he can up towards him. And then when he reaches up to him, he doesn't hesitate. He jabs his rapier down his throat as he throws himself off the wall and into this person sitting there.
Was it the 6? Or is it wrong on my...
It is 6.
So you will die as well? Or have to...
Petter, you see your lord is under attack
Yes.
by all of these blasphemous
Sinners.
sinners. Yes, exactly. What do you do?
I kind of stand up straight and just throw Hagir off. So he tumbles down from me. And I start to run towards this what is happening in front of me. Desperate attempt to help my lord.
So let's have you roll a ruin roll first. It's because you witness your lord being stabbed.
We shall roll. And it becomes a 4. And that's not higher than my current ruin. So.
Okay, so let's have you see if you can reach anything here and avoid being buried in all of the bodies. So it's you risk your body here. It's a dark die. I don't think any skill applies here.
No, I don't think so.
Devil's Bargain.
I think Petter is willing to risk everything. Maybe.
All right, so you will lose yourself. You will no longer be Petter after you do this.
Well,
It's kind of obvious.
I will take
After all
it.
that happens.
All
So
right,
it's a single white and a single dark.
roll away.
And it's both 5,
Yes.
which means
Yeah.
succeed,
So-
but the ruin increases.
Yes. So, you you run up along the wall, dodging corpses running on top of others. You feel bones, skulls crunching under your feet. You run toward your lord and you manage to reach. You manage to reach the cluster of people now gathered there. What happens is, as you fight yourself through a pile of corpses, you see 3 figures on the top of the pillar start to lean over and fall toward you. It's Jill and Alexander and Duquisse, your Dark Lord. You stretch out your hands and you catch him. And he looks up at you with his black obsidian eyes, his mouth gaping up obscenely with a rapier stuck down his throat. And he reaches a hand up toward your face and strokes it. And all life is gone from him. You see around your neck a necklace that he wore. You can see the cross in his hand that he used for as a fork, and it's there for you to take. You can see his throne. You can see that this place needs a guardian, a lord. Duquisse, that isn't a name, that's a title. It's your title.
Nevertheless, I shall try once more to become the Lord by performing another ritual. I again produce Santa Antonia, the living elegy, weeping over the murdered body of the Lord. And I begin the process again. The Lord needs to rule this estate. So I will try to perform the ritual to appear as Duquisse.
Okay, give us the roll.
Just died. I have no relevant skills, I think.
No. Let's just roll a dark die for that.
Okay. I shall roll it. It's a 1.
So no matter how hard you try, your old powers, they are no longer there. You no longer, whether you know it or not, you no longer have a connection to your lord. The lord you worship now is a false one. have no choice but to become that false lord. You leave all of what was Petter behind, and you climb onto the throne, and you step on top of face that was once beautiful, once so full of yearning and spirit and desire to prove himself to his father. Alas, the only way he will prove himself is by attracting a large crowd to his funeral. Never found the body, of course. Alexander Templeton lies dead among the corpses of so many, with the deed clutched fast in his hand. Beside him, in the pile of corpses, there's another person, another figure buried out of sight, not seen by Petter. A woman who stretches out her hand and folds it around a ringed finger, grabs hold of a jewel. Finally, it's yours, Jill. What you sought, your treasure, your reason. Tell us about it, how it feels to hold it in your hand, even though it's now, well, you have there's a finger, a disgusting fat finger. It's attached to, but you have your jewel. You can just rip that finger off.
I'm taken by surprise that I'm still alive. I thought they already. Well, maybe I don't even realize that finger. Maybe I just see this jewel, which I have studied for years. I have learned skills all to get this jewel. And right now I don't think of my brother anymore. I just think of this jewel, and I just get lost in the sight and seem to fall into this glittering jewel with some dirt on it or some blood on it.
Yes. And as you stare into the exquisitely carved details of this jewel, you are indeed lost. All memories of your brother are gone, replaced with the sickening sense that you are completely alone in this world. The only thing that can ever comfort you is this jewel. No other person will ever be a friend to you. You will have no one to call family. This jewel is your only home, your only companion. the only thing you can ever care about ever again. And it is likely that you are the only one to walk out of this palace, this estate. But you are not the one with the kindest fate.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we end today's session. Thank you for playing Trophy. It's been a blast.
Good.
Right, I'll stop the recording now.